Good morning, people. Welcome back to the channel. So this video is just an update on Danny Tommo. He set off to Scotland yesterday regarding the phone he found on Calais Beach that belonged to an illegal immigrant. I'll just update you what the situation. People are asking me. Phone he found on the beach in Calais belonging to an illegal immigrant. But on the phone, when he'd done some investigation, was some serious things that need investigating. Pictures with small people, small individuals, young. And while he's in the UK, it's continuing. As he's in the UK, he's continuing using his profile, and obviously Danny's getting the updates on the phone he has. So yesterday they set off to Scotland, stopped off in Manchester. There was another illegal immigrant they needed to speak to. I don't think they spoke to him. The video's on there, and then continued on to Scotland this morning. So they are meeting a hunter, one of these hunters, that's going to guide him through the process to make sure when they get him, it's illegal above board and he's not going to get away. He will be arrested because it is concerning. So he's the video. Thanks for watching.
Good morning from not so sunny Scotland. We're up already. Not so sunny Scotland. Good morning from not so sunny Scotland. We're up already. Yeah, so yesterday was interesting. Obviously the main reason we're away is today. So we've got some really good people that are coming down to meet us today to basically make sure that I am not breaking the law. Everything is done legally, and yeah, so that's going to be interesting. But this guy, who is one of the top paedophile hunters in Scotland, is coming today to meet us. He's probably on his way right now. He's going to be with us today, and he's going to advise me on what to do, what not to do, how to do it, not how to do it. The last thing I want to do is get this guy to get away with anything because of my behaviour or anything that we've done. So yesterday we went to the hotel in Manchester, which was the scene of an horrific sexual assault on a very, very young child, 2 years old. You know, I wanted to go there, and I wanted to get in. I wanted to have a look around, and I think it's very, yeah, AC Spartan. That is correct, Mundos. Anyone that knows him will know that he is the top don in Scotland. So having him by our side today will enable us to, yeah, he's the top dog. So, what is that? What's that? Yeah.
Potato something. I've got haggis.
Haggis. Haggis in the morning.
What's a potato what?
So yeah, having him by our side will enable us to make sure that this is done correctly, professionally, and that it sticks. That's the main objective here. This isn't a game. This isn't some sort of, you know, look at me, look at this. This is making sure that this guy is put on the radar, and the police refused to do that in a way that conventional. They weren't interested. I was just getting passed from pillar to post. I thought, you know what? Nah, I'll go myself. This doesn't seem like it's going to get dealt with properly. We're going to go ourselves. So we've got Sid and Big Bill. Got in the car. Sid's driven the whole way. What's that, 7.5 hours? 7 hours?
We've done 4 hours to the first stop and 3 hours to the second journey.
Yeah, so big up to Sid. But yeah, just having this guy with us is AC Spartan with us will just change the game, because he knows what he's doing a lot better than we do. So he's on his way now. He's going to advise us. But our main objective today is to detain this guy and have the proof as to why he's been detained, legally been detained. I may have to say to him that I don't know, but I'm going to get AC Spartan's advice, and I'll take it, you know, because this is a very important situation that needs to be dealt with in the right manner. you know. So that's the case today, because the reason this has prompted us to deal with this so quickly is on the basis that this guy 3 days ago, maybe a bit more actually, 3 or 4 days ago I think it was, uploaded pictures of himself cuddling a 5-6-year-old girl, white girl. No picture, no context in terms of he's with a. I mean, how is a migrant who's only been in the country for 2-3 months now in a sort of a countryside setting with a 5-6-year-old girl? No matter how it transpires that that's the situation, you know, that shouldn't be happening. Not with the tendencies that we've seen, not with the huge amount of screenshots, recordings of himself asking 10-11-year-old girls to marry him, a clear obsession with very, very young white girls. And I believe that when he did that, when he put that post up a few days ago, he did that as like a badge of honour. Look what I've got. I genuinely, because everyone, obviously I've got access to all his social media, and the only people that were looking at that post were all men from Sudan or from Africa or the Middle East. So, and there's no other pictures that would make it context make sense. So I'm very concerned for that little girl. So I'm gonna say that to the police when we detain him and say, you need to question this guy. Where is this girl? Who is she? Where has she come from? Why was she there? And where's her mother? And where's her father? That's important. I treat a lot of what we do as in if it was my daughter, or, you know, this was my family member that that something had happened to. And I know the boys that's up here feel exactly the same. You know, there's only so much talking you can do on the internet. There's only so much you can moan about. You know, if we had a collective sort of response to most things that happen, people would think twice about committing those crimes. But yeah. So in terms of Manchester yesterday, that was just a stop. I knew we were going to be driving past Manchester, obviously with everything that had happened. I felt like it was important to stop at Manchester and I didn't expect them to open the door, to be honest. And then when they opened the door, then they trapped my foot in it, and I had to pull it open and walk in because my foot was trapped. And then we had a good look around, but that place there, something doesn't sit right. You've got loads and loads of families from countries that aren't at war. You've got people that are, you know, there's kids everywhere. There's been a sexual assault of a young baby, and it looks like that the evidence was lacking in some respects, and this guy was released. But the evidence that's come from the authorities, which can't be published yet because there's a banning order on reporting. You know, how can we, as English lads, English citizens, British citizens, how can we just let a 2-year-old child be sexually assaulted by migrants and just go on about our daily routines? I wasn't prepared to do that, so yesterday was just to put a bit of pressure on them, know that we're still, you know, because they had a protest there on Saturday. What I did last night won't change anything or do anything, but it put pressure on it, it highlights the issue. And I'm hoping to work with people that, in Manchester to get another response, you know. But I had to be careful yesterday because I heard children's voices. At the end of the day, if I knew there weren't any children in there, it probably would have gone a lot different. But I'm not that kind of guy. I've got children myself, and I'm not going to scare children or women. Even though I don't even think they should be in there. If there's a sexual assaults happening, there's predators in there, these women and children shouldn't be in there, but that's a different subject. But yeah, so that was yesterday. So today, yeah, I'm not going to waffle too much. That's it, where we're at. I'm waiting now for AC Spartans to come. We're going to do some surveillance. We're going to go and find, well, we're going to go and find the hotel. We're going to surveil the hotel, and then we're going to do what we need to do. So yeah, I hope. My main objective, as I said, with this is to get this guy questioned, get someone to look at his phone. You know, there's enough evidence to suggest this guy has a serious obsession with children. Be it, majority of what he's obsessed with is young girls around about the age of 9, 10, 11 years old. And then when we saw that the other day with a child of 5, 6, I mean, you cannot ignore this. What kind of man would I be to have that evidence before me? And what kind of man would I be just to ignore it? Or just to pass it over? I wasn't prepared to do that, so yeah, that's where we're at. We'll come back to you. And I appreciate everyone's support. Big up to the lads. Is there anything that indicates where we are, really? No? Say hello, lads.
Hello, mate.
Good morning. Morning.
Morning.
Couldn't do it without these lads. Honestly, great team. Lads that are back in London. This was a really quick sort of trip, so a lot of the lads that wanted to come couldn't because of work. But yeah, big up to these two, because without them this wouldn't work. And we'll be back.